December 1914. The Great War was only a few months old, but it had already brought unimaginable horror across hundreds of miles. Soldiers on both sides dug deep trenches, separated by a deadly strip of mud known as No Man's Land, and on Christmas Eve, something extraordinary happened. Along parts of the Western Front, guns fell silent. Instead of bullets, there were voices singing carols drifting across the cold night air by Christmas morning. British and German troops cautiously climbed out of their trenches at first with hesitation, but soon with surprising warmth, they met in the middle. Soldiers exchanged cigarettes, chocolate, buttons, and even hats. They showed each other family photos, shook hands, and shared jokes. Perhaps the most famous story of the truce is that of the football matches in Belgium. Corporal Albert Wyatt wrote of kicking a ball between the two firing lines. Sergeant Frank Naden's letters describe the same kick. Another game is believed to have taken place in Frey-Lingha, France, witnessed by soldiers who were amazed to see enemies playing together in the frozen mud. Though these matches were fewer than the legends suggest, they became powerful symbols of shared humanity in many places. Soldiers also used the pause to bury fallen comrades who had lain in no man's land for weeks. Enemies stood side by side, holding makeshift funeral services, but military leaders were horrified. They feared that seeing the enemy as fellow human beings would destroy the will to fight. By Christmas 19, strict orders were given to prevent any future truces, and as the war dragged on, with mounting casualties and fresh waves of anger and loss, such gestures of peace became impossible. Yet the memory of the Christmas truce lived on. In 2014, a century later, memorials and sculptures were unveiled in places like Liverpool and St. Yvonne. They honored those few hours when compassion and brotherhood shone through the darkness of war. The Christmas Truce of 1914 reminds us, humanity can find a way to break through.